that even mean, Bowers Game Club?
Hello again, YouTube. We're back here again for another review video, and this time we're checking out Codex. This is a two-player game, combat style by Serlin Games, which, just so you guys know, is my favorite game designer by far. I feel like he makes games just for me. But in this game, you will be getting a Codex. There's a bunch of different codexes. The base game comes with two. The base game comes with the green one and the red one. But there are expansions for more. There's a blue one, a white one, a black one, and a purple one at least. I think there's more than that even.
They play drastically different.
They play drastically different. And even using the same Codex, you can play drastically different even with the same one.
From game to game, yeah.
And then how this game works is, this is based on a real-time strategy game, like, I think, Warcraft or Starcraft, Age of Empires, something like that. That's what this game, that's the theme of this game. So, you'll start with, every codex starts with 10 cards, and you draw 5, and 5 will be in your draw pile. And then how this works is the first player will have, and you also have workers in this game, again, that real-time strategy theme. And the workers get you gold every round. And the first player will start with 4 workers, then the second player starts with 5 workers. So during your turn, you get gold equal to your workers, and then you could play cards. It's a little unique to this game that, so you'll have 5 cards in your starting hand, and then when you draw your next hand, you draw 2 cards plus 1 for every card you discard, up to 5. So you can't draw more than 5 cards. But that does make a really interesting mechanic that, like, if you play all of your cards, you only draw 2 cards.
It's bad.
And then you
It's real bad.
And
Don't do
it's
it.
real easy to get stuck in an infinite loop of drawing 2 cards once you're drawing 2 cards. It's happened to me plenty of times when I played it. It happened to Forrest.
Yeah.
Real bad the last time we played it. So it's kind of interesting in that, do you want to play all your cards? Because sure, you have a banging turn that time, but then it's a little hard to start drawing a bunch of cards again.
And that's just one of the interesting choices, because the cards themselves, they just do so many different things to attack text or buildings or this or that. It's just...
Yep, and then, again, with the real-time strategy theme, there's tech. I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but then there's tech as well. So your starting hand has all tech zeros, so you can always build tech zeros, but then after that, you have to actually build buildings to get better units. So you have to build the tech 1 building, be able to get tech 1 units, and same with the 2 and the 3.
Yeah, and that's going to give you access to, like, the more premium cards. It will not give access, because you can get them no matter what, but that's going to let you start using them. And as you go deeper into the book, obviously you're going to get the more big, more powerful ones that are going to do more big and flashy things. They have the big surprising moves where people are like, wait, how'd you... Oh, wow, because it's a big, powerful thing. Yeah, it's...
Yeah, and then, the cards that you play cannot attack the same round that they're played, so you can only attack on future rounds that you have them. Combat is mutual, so if I attack you with a unit, they attack each other at the same time, so they both take each other's damage. There's heroes in the game. The heroes can level up. And
drastically different, asymmetrical heroes. There's so much. It's just, like, I feel like you're underselling everything, but there's just more and more and more. There's just every single aspect of this feels different. Your base can have different add-ons, which will do different things. You can, like, he had a jail last game where when I put out a unit, my unit would actually go over to his side, but then I could destroy the jail and free the thing out. And there was just layers upon layers. And you talked about the tech, and it's just...
Yeah, I mean, and every race, because essentially the different colored books are races, very different, and even with this, and and how the teching works is, unless you get a special ability, which you can get, you can only get so like green has 3 different factions in it. It has feral, growth, and balance. And when you go to Tech 2, you can only pick one of those 3. So you'd have to pick either feral, growth, or magic, or balance. And then you can only build Tech 2 and Tech 3 of that one faction. So in most games, like, you can only even do Tech 2s and Tech 3s of that one faction. So, like, you have to have multiple games to even try the other ones out. And I mean, and they're all so different, even in the same color. And then something that we didn't actually get to do, and I've never even done, is Like the real game, like if you go to like a Codex like tournament or stuff, what you actually do is you build your own Codex, and you can mix and match colors from the Codex.
What?
Yeah, that's how the real game works.
Oh my gosh.
So you could have one Codex that has, feral from the green.
So it reminds me of Mage Wars. The whole setting up of your Codex is a game inside of a game outside of the game.
Yeah. So you could do feral magic, you could do ninjutsu, and you could do...
There's a reason that Ronnie did most of the talking on this one. This is his baby. So I feel like they get a gist of the game. Let's start talking about reviews of the game. And this is one of your favorite games of all time, right? Top 50?
Easily top 20.
Okay, top 20. We're gonna wax poetic about greatness here, but what are the negatives of this game? I think rule booklet would be an easy one to start with.
Negatives. I've played a few games where like it sort of seems like the game was over like turn 2.
We played one.
So
that was more on me.
So I would say that's a bit of a negative. If you're playing with someone who actually has built their own Codex, and you haven't, that'd be a little weird. I've never built my own Codex.
I feel like they would blast you.
Whenever I play this game, I'm just like, do you want the green one or the white one? And like, I'll pick the other one. Like, I've never actually built my own because I've never like gotten into a game like because there's lots of games you can do that with, like Pixel Tactics, any collectible card game. Like, I don't get into collectible card games. Mm-hmm. So I've never actually built my own anything in any game. Like Mage Wars, I actually have made Mage Wars, but like I've never built my own spell book in that.
Oh, that's fun. It's fun. It's good times. Rule booklet.
Goodness.
It's rough.
Nick Khan's rule booklet. You said that there's actually a second rule book out there somewhere. It doesn't come with the game. But oh my god, the rule book is terrible. So with the rule book, what it tries to do is it tries to walk you through your first game, which is really cool, and actually does a good job of walking you through that first game. But after you get past that game and you need to go back to the rule book, it is a nightmare to find what you're looking for.
Is there a glossary at least?
There is a glossary. The glossary is very good.
Yeah, that's
so
nice.
Like if you need
to know, it helps.
I mean, there's lots. I mean, there's lots of
Does
words
it give you the
in here,
pages
like channeling, death touch. I mean, there's lots of.
Okay.
But there's a glossary. Glossary's great.
Any other negatives? Because I don't think I can think of too many other ones. Great, I've only played this like 3 or 4 times now. I think we've done.
Nothing else is coming to mind.
All right, so I have a Bauer's Best Seal where I give something a 9 or higher. Would you give this a Ronnie's Best Seal?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I would yet. I think I need to play it more, but I'm still at a grade on this. I'll start here because you played a lot more. I love this. I think it's great. I think it's the kind of game where you want both people to be on an even skill level. I think that's another one too. Where this one, I think it's. Like, there's a lot of games where if one person's up here and one person's down here, the game could balance it out. This one, I think, you have a very natural advantage if you played it more. Which, it's not. It is what it is. I wouldn't say it is a major con. But just pros, it's just every choice you make in this game is interesting. You know, even when it just comes down to you want workers, because you want to be consistently putting workers down there so you can gain more money every time. But then you have a very limited, finite amount of cards in your hand, and you want to get those cards out because those cards are going to protect your text, they're going to protect your people, and you want to get... There's only so much you can do, and you always want to do more, and sometimes you'll have so much money, but you won't have the cards, or sometimes you'll have the cards, but you won't have the money, and sometimes you'll have the cards, and you'll have the money, but you won't have the right magic person out, and you won't have this upgraded, and there's so many layers to this. I will say, I feel like this is a game that will definitely reward you more if you play it more. I don't think this is one I would like as much if you were going to get it out, once a year and bust it out and relearn it type of thing. I think this is one where, much like in the same vein as Mage Wars, the more you get into it, the more you're going to get out of it. But I would love to play through every single deck once. And like Ronnie said, I still don't feel like I would even get close to the full experience because I can't stress this enough to you. That green booklet that he was talking about, you're not even going to touch the majority of cards in there during a game. You're just not going to touch them. You're going to look at them and be like, oh, that'd be cool. But it's just not in the cards this time. And it's It's impressive. This game is just impressive
for
with how much is in here.
Like a third of the cards in your Codex is even accessible to you.
Yeah.
So you have to play 3 games with 1 color and to even attempt to experience the full book. I do want to say another pro about this game that I think, because I played numerous games of this. The first game that you and I played with this was this way as well. There's points in the game where I'm like, man, I have no chance of winning. I have no idea how I'm going to win. But then a turn later, like I draw a really good hand and just turn it around. I'm like, oh, now I don't know how I'm going to lose. And actually, what happened is like one turn, I'm like, man, I don't know how I'm going to lose this. He's screwed. And then literally the next turn, literally on his turn, he puts out a bunch of stuff. I'm like, oh gosh, now I don't know how I'm going to win. But then my next turn, then it's like, oh, now I'm doing well again. Like, it's really back and forth.
And the interesting thing is, because of the hidden information of the cards and how wildly powerful, this card might be from that card, you have no idea potentially what's coming at you. I mean, you can see what's on the board, but...
Yeah, and I remember now, because, like, that first turn, because I had a bunch of stuff out, but then you got, like, an overpowered... Well, it wasn't overpowered, but a really good Tech 2 unit. It was the first time you got any Tech 2 units out, and it was really good. I'm like, oh, gosh, what am I going to do against that card? But then I got a Tech 2, and then, I don't know.
This is one of those games that will do that. After the game, you'll be talking about it and say, oh, I would have done this different, I would have done that different, which I think is a sign of a great game, I think.
And something else I would note, I am not a Magic the Gathering player, but I have 2 friends who are big into Magic, and both of them say, if you like Magic, you will like this game. So that's them saying it, not me, but now I say it.
I can't imagine too many people not enjoying it, unless you just got blasted on your first game, maybe, or something, but I don't know. I think
you don't like strategy games, this wouldn't be for you.
No,
that's
very
strategic.
Deep strategy. But that is Codex Card Time Strategy. If it looks like it might be your cup of tea, be sure to check this one out. Very interesting game, and honestly, if you do like deeper strategy, I think this is a must-try for sure. It's one to seek out and give it a whirl. Codex Card Time Strategy. If it looks like my cup of tea, be sure to check it out. If you enjoy the content, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below, as I'm trying to reach 17,000 subscribers in 2023 to make it my biggest year ever. And in the comments below, let me know if you could live on a pirate ship, live in ancient Egypt under a pharaoh, or be which one of those would you do? Pirate ship or
the pirate ship?
Yeah, it kind of suck to live under the pharaoh, wouldn't it? All right. Lame question. This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.